Hello everyone, this is Jack and this is the third Terrablox devblog. In this one I'll be showing you what I've been doing in the past week and some concepts for monsters and how they'll interact with, how they'll add to the gameplay. So hope you enjoy. So here you'll see that one of the things we added was the main menu, and it's just the concept we had before, with some little bit of animation in it for the flames and the rain, and some first pass of music. I should note that the music wasn't made for this background, so might not fit, but yeah, these are things we're working on. So yeah, the buttons animate and everything, they're quite cute. So they bounce when you're just hovering over them, but they always finish your animation, so you can do wavy stuff like that. They will have sound effects on them as well, and downstates. At the moment, play just takes you straight into the game, but in the future that will actually pop up a menu box, or like a big box here, and inside that will be the different modes. So that will be single player, or single player probably in the middle. No, it's not single player, it's creative mode, which is, you know, like you can fly around, you can just build stuff. And then there'll be survival mode, which is basically this: you have like a health bar and you have to just survive and play the game as a game. And next to that will be multiplayer. Multiplayer will just be that you'll join a server and you'll adopt the gameplay of whatever that server is. So that could be a creative server or a survival server. So multiplayer incorporates both of those things. So there will be different types of menus. I mean, this is just what we can knock up in a day pretty much. And you will also be able to mod these things, so like you'll be able to change the background screen and button art. So this will be moddable as well. So now I'm going to show you what this might look like in game. So loading. Loads pretty quick because it does it in chunks now. So yeah, as first thing you'll see is that it hasn't got the same texture. This is a quick mock texture. Like, I've also changed the sky and the water so it's a bit darker. And so this is just an idea of what it might look like. But there's still a lot of stuff to do with like different block types for trees, to get them to have like tube-like blocks, so they have like smaller branches. See if I can get up here. I've still got the little cheat in there. Also added jumping to the character, though he will have sort of his own jumping animation there as well. And you can also flip to first person now, so you can actually start doing editing stuff in game, which is pretty neat. You just flip back out, and you'll notice as well that we've got different types of trees in. So none of these are actually hard coded into the game. These are created in an external file, and what the game does is it loads that in, and just however many trees are in that file, it just adds them and they're generated in the world. So we have like these small bushy ones, the normal ones, and there's sort of like an extended different version of those. And there's these ones, let's get in the third person, these ones which have that little extension on the top. So at the moment these are just like handwritten in JSON, so they're just like it's just a text list of different block types. So it is possible to do this just through text, but we are going to be making we are going to be making a editor, so you can actually model trees a bit more, you know, a lot easier and, you know, more detailed, because it's really hard to visualize through text. So we'll be doing that. And with the lack of textures, you will also notice like in some areas the shading is quite off. It's not actually visible there, maybe here. So yeah, you can see here there's this almost sort of like diamond shape going through there, and that's the per vertex lighting or shading that actually becomes a lot more noticeable when you don't have textures on it. So you can see it's fine. No, it's not fine there. It's hard to tell. Yeah, we want to try and get rid of these diamond sort of like patterns, and there's a couple of ways of doing that which we're going to try out and see if it makes it any better. Like one of the things I want to do was have like a shading texture, so like a couple of different gradient maps, and it would choose between them for the best one to use, and that would stop the vertexes trying to mangle it like that. Be a lot smoother. And it would also mean you could have shadows that are sort of like wavy or sharp or spiky. I don't know if that would actually have any sort of benefit, but I'll do it anyway. And the game, here we go. The game is still, I managed to get it divided in chunks now, so we can actually take each chunk and save it. But it doesn't take lighting into account at the moment. Like when you reload the data, it doesn't do any lighting sort of pass, because the way I had it done before, it sort of needed the entire map to do it fast. So I'm gonna have to come up with another solution for that. But when that's done, when it can save a chunk and load in a chunk, you know, independent of whatever the map size is, that's pretty much like a massive hump to get over when it comes to infinite terrain. So once we have that, then I think we're in the business. You know, it's pretty cool to have the infinite terrain stuff in. So I don't know if that'll be next week, because I'm pretty busy next weekend, but yeah, hopefully soon. That's like one of my main targets to get done, the chunk saving and loading for infinite terrain. So yeah, that's roughly what nighttime might look like. Well, not nighttime, but evening. And look, scaredy face. No, he's not really scared. But yeah, you will be able to draw your different faces on the same character skin. So one character skin will have like these different faces, and the game will automatically switch between them depending on the character's mood. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some mobs now. So this is monster 1, the arachnal. Obviously it's an arachnid, it's a spider. And I know he looks quite big there, but these guys will actually be really small. I want them to be like the sort of things that you, like actual spiders, you know, you sort of see them out the corner of your eye and you don't know what they are until you take a closer look. So lots of these little fellas crawling around the world and just making you have that second glance, you know, just to make sure you're not in trouble. But they are dangerous. They can bite, but like I say, they're small and 10 health. This is supposed to be out of 100, but these are pretty meaningless values at the moment. So yeah, these will be easy to kill, but you won't see them all, and there'll be loads of them, and they're mainly a distraction. About the style, all monsters, pretty much most things in the game will be of this basic style, like basic shapes and just flat planes for the limbs. And this is intentional so that you can easily mod your own monsters, basically. So if you wanted to make your own spider, you could just take this as a template and just change the color, change the shape of the head, you know, add some more limbs, take some limbs away, whatever you want, change, you know, whatever. And the glowing eyes, there will be glowing eyes, like they will literally glow like this, but I'll talk to you more about that in a sec. So let's show you the next monster. This is the redhead. It's like a caterpillar thing, and these guys, they're basically there to hide in trees, and every time you pass them, they're like little time bombs. Every time, you know, when you pass them, they have this special attack, which is spines. So if you get too close, and you might not even realise it because they'll be able to hide in leaf blocks and stuff like that. So you might not know they're there, but you'll just hit, you know, they'll go like, they'll have like a little explosion, and then you'll get these spines in you, and this will give you a poison effect. So your health will be drained over a period of time until you get cured, or until it, you know, passes or something like that. And this one has no legs, but there will be like an animation template for like, I don't know, spine bodies, I don't know, what would you call this? But yeah, basically a series of blocks that act as like a worm or a caterpillar or something like that. So, and glowing eyes as well, and whatever you want to add to that. And final monster is the sucker. Obviously a vampire bat. So yeah, this one flies. He'll be a little flyer, and obviously you're going to want things like this to blend into the sky, and you don't want to see them until they come down and swipe you or something. Or you stumble into a cave and suddenly there's hundreds of them, something like that. And they attack as well. They have bite. They also have a special attack, which is infection, which gives you the vampire virus. Now this is not always likely to happen. Like, it'll be a very small chance, but vampire virus brings us back to NPCs basically. And like I said before in the previous video, you can kill NPCs if you want to. You can go into a village, kill the NPCs, and they could even kill you. With a vampire virus, you could actually infect other NPCs or other people. Like for multiplayer, for example, you could infect other people. And vampire virus would basically mean you have sort of like buffs, but you also have penalties, and basically your mission just becomes infect as many people as possible. And I don't know how you'd get rid of it, if it's time based, or you have to find a cure or something like that, or you just live with it, live indefinitely with it by sucking blood or something, becoming a sucker yourself. Yeah, there'll be viruses like that which becomes your mission to spread. In multiplayer, we think this would be a good mechanic to have every now and then. Like, you have the healthy people versus the infected, and they're just sort of battling it out or something. But yeah, in like normal single player survival mode, you will still have this mechanic, and starting with getting bitten and stuff like that. So that's monsters, Arachnal, Redhead, and Sucker. So yeah. So that brings us to the end of the video. And I want to talk to you about things I'll be adding next week. Don't know if I'll get as much done next week because it's going to be quite a busy one. But with the glowing eyes that you saw on the monsters, one of the things that are required to actually do that is post-processing effects, which is basically drawing the scene to a bitmap which I can edit and do stuff with, or multiple bitmaps. And so yeah, when drawing a monster, you'll draw the eyes to another like image, and you'll be able to do like a blur on that image and then sort of blend it in with the scene, so you'll have glowing eyes. And this is the same as like bloom lighting and stuff like that. And I want to do some more things with that, things that might not be permanent, but just to show it off. And talking of spiders, there's one crawling down my wall right now. So yeah, the arachnals are coming. Another thing I want to add is non-block objects. So like from the previous Terrablox, you had like pumpkins and flowers and stuff like that. So I want to add them in, and maybe they will be included in the post-processing effects. Another thing I want to also try is animation of the world. So hold on, let me just get this spider before he disappears. I missed him, he disappeared. Oh no, there he is. Fucking, I got him. Right, what was I saying? So yeah, you can have moving grass, for example, or moving flowers, and so those things are sort of blow in the wind, but they'll be really fast because I'll do it like through vertex manipulation through a shader or something. So they should be really fast, and they should look really nice because you can have it in like on a sort of, I don't know, but they could all be linked no matter where they are, so they could have sort of like a wind blowing effect sort of sweeping across them. And I think that would look really nice. So yeah, that's those things. Let's see what else I've got on my notepad here. The tree designer I want to get on next week, so you'll be able to model your own trees, and we'll see what we can come up with that. Debug information, so like when we do eventually release a demo, you'll be able to see like your FPS and all that sort of stuff, so we can get feedback on how well the game's performing. And hopefully saving and loading can get done next week for the chunks. That'll be a good thing to do. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Hope to show you some juicy stuff next week, especially with the post-processing effects. even if it's completely unrelated to the game, just show you some cool stuff. Thanks for watching the third Terrablox devblog, and goodbye.